Before I dive in, I would like to ask a favor. If you have any ideas of your own about what you would like to see in the finale of Season 2 of Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor Who, leave a comment. I'd love to read your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like to let me know. And if you want more videos about entertainment topics of all kinds, please consider subscribing to my channel. On with the show. Russell T Davies became known during his first run on Doctor Who for dropping hints and laying out series-long payoffs for keen-eyed viewers. This made it fun to watch and speculate as to where the plot was heading, and little details might play large roles as things unfolded. We might even consider things like this as Chekhov's guns. The principle goes that every element in a narrative, including objects and small details, and even lines of dialogue, should contribute to the overall plot in some way. If there is a gun in Act 1, it must be fired in a later act, otherwise it should be removed. Then again, we also have the concept of red herrings. A red herring is something added to a story, usually a mystery, that misleads or distracts the reader or viewer from something more relevant or important. Red herrings are intentional additions, possibly taking advantage of the Chekhov's gun concept to set up expectations that have no payoff in order to facilitate a more surprising payoff in the end. Juggling these two concepts, the gun and the herring, is what makes it difficult to watch current Doctor Who. Russell T Davies knows that we know his reputation. So what ideas is he planting that actually lead somewhere? And what ideas is he planting just to distract? In Season 1, a good example was Susan Triad. Susan is the name of the Doctor's granddaughter, someone he had referenced earlier in the season. Triad is an anagram for TARDIS. Could this Susan be the long-unseen granddaughter? It all seemed too obvious, and it was, laughed off by members of UNIT as the first thing they noticed. Behind that was the company name, Susan Triad Technology, or SUTech, which became Sutek, the god of death, and the actual big bad of the season. Was this a good payoff for Season 1, and a good use of a red herring? Most people seem to agree that it was. A good example of a payoff coming long after its setup is Mrs. Flood being the Rani. At the end of Season 1, we saw Mrs. Flood garbed in a stunning white winter wardrobe, which longtime viewers spotted as being reminiscent of an outfit Romana, a Time Lord, wore in Doctor Who back in 1978 during Tom Baker's run as the Doctor. Played at that time by Mary Tam, she stayed on as his companion through a regeneration before the character left the show in 1981. However, rather than assuming Mrs. Flood was Romana, online discussion saw through a potential red herring and went in the direction of another Time Lord, a renegade scientist called the Rani. This was finally paid off in the most recent episode, The Interstellar Song Contest, when Mrs. Flood bi-generates into a new version of Rani, played by Archie Panjabi, who will go as the Rani, and Mrs. Flood, played by Anita Dobson, who will be known as a Rani. This shuts down speculation that Mrs. Flood might have been Anita from Joy to the World, or even their granddaughter Susan. A long wait, set up by a red herring pointing at Romana with the white costume, paying off with the reveal of the Rani. This cements the possibility that other theories might pay off as well. All of that being said, here are some things that have enough weight to them that I think warrant some kind of payoff as the second season draws to a close. Let's take a look. Number 1. The first thing I would love to see paid off goes back to David Tennant's run as the 14th Doctor in his second special, Wild Blue Yonder. A trip with Donna Noble results in a joke leading to a misremembered word and the term gravity being replaced with the word mavity. This was referenced in Ncuti Gatwa's first Christmas special, and not again until the aforementioned The Interstellar Song Contest, when technicians used terms like mavitic and mavity. I went through the transcripts of all of Gatwa's main episodes, and the word had not reappeared until The Interstellar Song Contest. So I had thought for a long time that it was just a joke that got dropped. Not so, apparently. This shows the dangers of time travel and the potential for small changes to persist and echo throughout the future from when they happened. Restoring the word gravity should pay off in the final 2 episodes, and since the finale is called The Reality War, it seems most likely to take place there as the Doctor undoes this small change in order to reestablish the reality he favors. Number 2, also in Wild Blue Yonder, the Doctor and Donna find themselves at the edge of the expanding universe where nothing exists. They encounter entities they call the not things, who are trying to exist, to become real, in this case by copying the Doctor and Donna. They draw from the minds of our heroes and get closer and closer to accurately copying them. The Doctor is able to stave off an attack by laying down a barrier of salt, using a primal superstition that salt can ward off evil. In effect, the Doctor introduced the concept of magic and superstition into the edge of the universe and the minds of the not things, making it real in some way. There are already hints that the Rani might explore these concepts in the upcoming episode, Wish World. I hope there is a payoff about the introduction of superstition and magic, and perhaps further development of the not-thing entities. Number 3, on the topic of Wish World, what is more iconic to wish upon than a star? We saw a lot of stars at the beginning of Season 1. In the 2024 Christmas special, Joy to the World, a human woman bonded with a star in a briefcase and ascended to her place in the cosmos. That star-human hybrid is out there somewhere and possibly feels obligation to the Doctor. The first official episode of Season 2, The Robot Revolution, introduced Belinda Chandra as she was gifted a star named for her by her soon-to-be ex-boyfriend. Our current companion has her own star, and the people living on a planet there also owe the Doctor. Episode 2, Lux, saw a member of the Pantheon undone by exposure to our sun, which is also a star. Episode 3, The Well, featured a gray star that gave off deadly radiation. That is 4 episodes in a row with stars playing prominent roles in the plots. As the penultimate episode of this season is called Wish World, could we say a payoff in the form of one or more of these stars, especially Joy's star or Belinda's star, being used to make a wish? Number 4, at the end of Season 1 in Empire of Death, the Doctor needed something real to help ground what was only a memory of a TARDIS. He was given a metal spoon on a remote world that would soon be touched by Sutekh and perish. This spoon played an important role in defeating this god of death. There was also a spoon that bounced a moonbeam in Lux, bringing that god of light into existence as a cartoon character. Have we seen other spoons in Ncuti Gatwa's seasons? In any case, the metal spoon was not a memory, but something real. And the Doctor needed something real for his plan to work. The finale is called The Reality War. The spoon should be somewhere handy, probably on his TARDIS. That particular spoon carries immense symbolic power. Will we see it again? We can see a lot of references to the power of words and belief in the concepts those words carry. In Lucky Day, Conrad used words to change reality, in a way, tricking people into losing trust in Unit and the Doctor. This will persist in Wish World and the Reality War. The Doctor can use the same power. If he says something is real, and enough people believe him, like arguing a case in a courtroom, like vindicating some position under attack, then he can dictate what reality should be. Vindicate, as in Vindicator device, which the Doctor has been using all season. Number 5. In The Story and the Engine, Belinda came across an enigmatic child waving to her in the street. According to the episode credits, this child was Captain Poppy from Gatwa's first main series episode, Season 1's Space Babies. Her appearance here brings to mind other instances when friends from the Doctor's past appeared in times of need. Will adult versions of the Space Babies appear to support the Doctor? Will the 15 people he saved from Lux in the theater play a role in the present-day storyline? Will Rogue make an appearance? Will the fictional fans in a false television reality who survived past the end of the episode take part in the finale? It would be nice if some of the kindness the Doctor showed people got repaid. Number 6. The Robot Revolution had a secret message hidden in every 9th word. The Well showed that sign language could be used to communicate with others without the people around you being aware. Going back to Season 1 in 73 Yards, a mysterious woman, possibly the elderly version of Ruby, whispered something that has never been revealed to people that made them shun her younger self. Will these instances of secret communication, or something akin to them, factor into the final plot? Number 7. The 14th Doctor and his TARDIS should still be somewhere on Earth. We last saw that Doctor and his machine in Donna Noble's garden. If 15 has to face off against the Rani and a Rani, maybe Tennant's Doctor will make an appearance to even the odds and deal with Mrs. Flood directly. Unless the Rani, as Mrs. Flood, has already removed that possibility and that TARDIS from the equation. In any case, I would like some payoff to both bi-generations, with each earlier version being definitively erased. Number 8. Villengard Corporation is touted as the largest weapons manufacturer in the galaxy by the 51st century. We hear of this company in Boom, with their smart mines, ambulances, and perpetual war system. In Joy to the World, Villengard was responsible for the briefcase containing the incubating star that Joy fused with. In Space Babies, an unnamed corporation, due to recession, opted to leave the baby-making machinery in operation even without human caretakers or parents willing to raise the children. In Dot and Bubble, another corporate entity keeps a planet full of young people oblivious to the dangers around them by using ubiquitous social media interfaces, while at the same time a planet full of parents has already been wiped out. An exploitative corporation sponsored the Interstellar Song Contest, and on, and on, and on. Are all of these corporations connected, either branches of Villengard or under some larger parent entity? Could the Rani have been running this corporate network? I hope there is a connection, and that there will be some revelation or payoff, since evil corporations, including the one behind the mining colony in the well, which had Mrs. Flood in a position of authority, have been a running theme during both of Gatwa's seasons. Number 9. The story engine is a powerful device. It is assumed to have been destroyed, but with the TARDIS, one could always travel to a time when it wasn't. For that matter, with a Vindicator device, one could probably home in on the center of the story nexus that the Barber was trying to reach. His plan was to cut the gods out of existence. The story engine affords one that power to remove something from reality. In essence, to rewrite reality by altering the shared consciousness and beliefs of life forms. Could the Rani use this to manipulate what is real? Could the Doctor, with the Barber's help, use this to restore a changed reality? It seems like too useful of a tool to leave it out of the plot. Number 10. With all of the references throughout Gatwa's run to family, abandoned children, parenthood and its responsibilities, this theme definitely deserves a payoff. Seeing the granddaughter, Susan, mysteriously appear in the Interstellar Song Contest, urging her grandfather not to give up, to keep fighting, and finally, to find her, made me happy beyond belief. I'd been waiting for Susan to return in some major way since I mistakenly thought Jodie Whittaker was playing Susan as a new Doctor, rather than a female regeneration of the Doctor we have known all along. Susan appeared, played by the original actress, Carol Ann Ford. Will she be back in the finale? She beseeches the Doctor to find her. In Lux, the cinematic recreation of the projectionist's late wife asks the same thing of him. Find me. Is there a link? That would be a stretch, I admit, and I don't want to think along those lines. What I do want to think about is this. With rumors that Ncuti Gatwa's run may end with this season, with rumors that the show will go on a break after season 2 wraps up, with all of that floating around the internet, here is what I would like to see. The 15th Doctor sacrifices everything, including his existence, to restore reality and the destroyed Earth and get Belinda home. Before he disappears for good, he passes on the mantle to Susan, who will carry on piloting the TARDIS we all know on her own adventures as a new Doctor after she regenerates into who? It's a lot to wish for, I know, but it would open so many doors for future stories, having a new and untested Doctor making her own way in the universe. Anyway, those are some things that I hope get nice payoffs in the final episodes. If you like my ideas, have others of your own, have wishes about the future of the Doctor, please leave a comment. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like to let me know. And if you're interested in seeing more videos about entertainment topics of all kinds, please consider subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.